Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. I think we're about to have a little trade idea right here. If it doesn't hit, we're looking at it hitting this high. These relatively equal highs all sitting right here. Probably going to just pop right there. We got 15 seconds. I don't know if it's going to give it to us or not. Yeah, nope, there is not. Okay. A little bit of a explosion there. I expected as much. I did get in early on that, and I did take a long and sold after that nice spike. So, what was that? I got in. It's about right here. I got in early and sold there. 17 handles. Okay. Good morning, Wilhelm. How you doing, my friend? I apologize. My camera has been a little bit funky. So we'll see if we have my camera today. It's been going in and out multiple times. So if it continues to persist, I may just do full screen and go that route. But yeah, I don't know why it's like glitchy. Anyway, I like to wear a hat because I have this super bright light in my face and it kind of just blocks the light from my eyes. So I like to wear it. Okay, so let's talk about the market. Today we had news. Today, what do we have? We had was it PPI? Let's see, FX calendar. Today we have PPI. Yes, 8:30. So we are done for news for the most part. So yeah, we got the green light to trade. We have the green light to look for good setups. This honestly was a really nice setup, even though it didn't give us our entry. I took an early entry before we closed above this. I got in on this candle when it was right here, assuming that it might pop before it closed. So I got in like right around here at the 920 candle. And it closed below. I was fine with that, assuming we were going to run these relatively equal highs, and then we just had this big pop, and then I sold it for 17 handles. So, I mean, it's hard to, when you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 relatively equal candles, and you see it's probably going to run it. Good morning, Don Lee. How you doing, man? Welcome. Glad you're here. So let's zoom out. That's 1 minute. Let's zoom out to, let's just get a quick look at the daily here. All right, we're coming up to the daily breaker, the daily order block, and the previous week low at this red line. We've been messing around in this weekly fair value gap. And as I said yesterday, I would love for this candle to end bearish, or to end on the lower side, the lower half, the discount portion of the weekly fair value gap. This yellow box, I would love for the body to close below the midpoint of this fair value gap, this weekly fair value gap. That would be a big indication to me we see lower prices. If we stay strong, I'm partial to it actually happening because it's only just the market's going to open in 4 minutes and we're not even, and we're already high here. Now we could have at open a really aggressive candle and we could start moving higher. We just got to see what price action is going to give us. But we're right here. We're right here. We're right here. This is the daily order block sitting right here. The fair value, the daily fair value gap is sitting literally right here at 18,850. 18. Excuse me. 18,850. So we have a lot of confluences here that we may see resistance, and it wouldn't surprise me if we get a reaction higher and we start running lower. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. So if we zoom out here, let's go from the daily down to the 4-hour here real quick. We still have this new day opening gap that's wide open right here. We stabbed at it and touched the swing high at 9 or at like 7 o'clock. So we have this new day opening gap, and we're gonna have a very, very large opening range. Meaning for me, I'm gonna look for lower prices. I apologize, my camera has been doing weird things lately, so I might come in and out. I'm sorry. There it is. It pops up again. So this is I'm partial to a downside move. We have our accumulation, manipulation, or accumulation. We have our buy side delivery, and then I think we may get sell side delivery targeting the Tuesday new day opening gap. So I'm bearish, but I want to wait for news, or I want to wait for open. I'm not going to do anything in the first 5 minutes for sure, just to let the market kind of work its volatility out and see what we have. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I do like how we're high already. We did have news at 8:30, so that's the only wrench. So news at 8:30 took us higher. At open, we may just continue that expansion. We also have more news, CPI, later this week. When is CPI? CPI is tomorrow morning. So we could get this news candle to be bullish and tomorrow's news candle to be bearish, right? There's a few different scenarios that could play out, but I'm privy to looking at the 15 minutes and lower, looking at the higher time frame to give me context as what PD arrays I may be running into and might need to consider. We're still inside this 4-hour, and we just filled that. It wouldn't surprise me if we run down to this run down here right at open here in 16 seconds. Getting a couple things set up here. Rebalanced, moving higher. I mean, I think we run for these highs here. Right at open here. We just inversed this candle. We should hit this high, if not this breaker, if not this order block. but we don't do anything. I don't like doing anything right at open. I just want to, it's a little security thing for me. Okay, I think I'm all set up now. So right now, price action is bullish. It's hard to say I'm bearish for the day. I'm looking for a bearish opportunity. Because we're at these higher time frame PD rays, I would love to find resistance here and start moving the other direction. But we are, I would say, we are in a bullish environment. This is a bullish environment for sure. Here's our 4-hour fair value gap. We have an hourly fair value gap right here, an ending of a daily fair value gap. There's a lot of stuff happening right here that just makes me want to sit and wait and just see what plays out here. If we were to go from the electronic trading hours to the regular trading hours, this is the opening range gap that I'm referring to. This is what makes me want to look for a bearish setup right here. It's a big gap. We have our new day opening gap down here and our new week opening gap down here, which tends to be a draw on liquidity. We're coming up against resistance in the daily order block right here. We have a weekly order block sitting right here. Oh, the weekly previous low is sitting right here. So we're going to rebalance that weekly low here in a minute. Let me show you. See, there's the previous week. Do you guys see that? This candle's low right here. We are now rebalancing that. The low on this candle is 883.25. 883.25. We just rebalanced that low. So we filled this weekly order block or fair value gap in completely. Outside of, on the weekly time frame, there's nothing higher. On the daily time frame, there's nothing higher other than this swing high, which is a long ways away. On the 4-hour, we do have a 4-hour fair value gap sitting at 1900. So a little bit higher, we have one. And then on the 4-hour, on the 1 hour, we got these swing highs sitting right here at 1900 as well. So either we find resistance here at 18,860 or we're going to start running to 1900, which is 100 points away. So this is the logic in my mind that I have based on what I'm seeing on why I want to look for shorts. I want to look for a short type of setup. And the confirmation that we are changing directions will be a change in state of delivery on the 5-minute right here. So when we have a body close below this, I'm confident that we're moving down. Doesn't mean we can't take a trade to here, because if we look at the 2-minute, I really like this 2-minute setup right here. But we may not get it because we still have a minute and 45 seconds before the close. That's what I'm referring to. Excuse me. So there's a lot of things going on here, a lot of PD arrays to consider. And so it's just better to sit on my hands right now until something obvious shows up. And we're gonna wait patiently. I took the obvious trade right at the beginning of stream, and I'm gonna wait. The obvious trade was taking a long into these relatively equal highs, which we did. So we just had the 30-second inverse, a 30-second fair value gap, a really small one, really irrelevant to me. Good morning, DDT. How you doing? Glad to have you this morning. Today's going to be a fantastic day. It's always a great day. It really is. The Lord is faithful in all things. But today's going to be a great day of trading. Yesterday was a fantastic day for no news. We had 2 trades, each for 20 handles that we took. Great day for trading. So far today, we took a 17 handle trade. I wasn't able to point it out really clearly on stream because I got in it basically right when I went live. But look at where we're finding resistance on this green line. This is the daily order block that I've referred to multiple times. Daily order block. Let's do this. It's the daily order block. That's why I'm watching this 2-minute. I like this 2-minute. It's a larger fair value gap compared to the 1 minute down here, and it's this has 2 fair value gaps, one here and one here. The 2-minute only has a single fair value gap, which I like better. So if the timing is right, we may get a close on the 2-minute in 30 seconds. Maybe, maybe not. I doubt it. But you want to make sure you're thumbing through the different time frames just so you can get context on, is it better on the 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 30 second, the 3 minute? My 3 favorite are the 30 second, the 1 minute, and 2 minute. Those are the 3 that I really like. I will do a 3 minute from time to time, but most often I would say it's the 1 minute and 30 second, and then it goes the 2 minute. And this is in regards to the inversion model. We have a breaker model that I trade, but there is not a breaker entry or breaker setup. If we run below this, this level here, this is a 5-minute change in state of delivery. Actually, I should put it here. Then if we come back up to this level, that would be a breaker. High, low, higher, high. We break lower, come back up here, entry to go short. Beautiful trade. Don Lee, welcome. How you doing, man? Is this your first time on stream? I haven't seen your name before. And I have the benefit of not having a ton of people, so I can recognize people when they show up. If I had 100 people on here. If I had 500 people on here, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now because I couldn't remember everybody. And the chat would probably be just going through people calling out their plays. All right, so we have 30 seconds left on this 2-minute. I like this. I will be interested in taking this. To this low. How big is this stop loss? Let's look. 14 handles. So you need a size appropriately. All right, so no close below. That sucks. But it's probably going to run. But we want to follow our rules. There's a 1 minute fair value gap right here that it's stabbing into. So before we just jump into it, we have to have the close. So we got another 2 minutes. And I don't think we're going to get it. Well, Don, I'm glad you're here, man. Thanks for joining. Hope you have an enjoyable experience. So we're waiting for a close below this gray box. It didn't. Even though it continued down, we can see the reaction here. Let's just look at the 1 minute. Let's look at the 30 second even. See if there is there's an inversion right here that could give us higher prices. So we didn't close it. We have liquidity. I would be interested in taking this too. Looking this as a manipulation lower for a move higher. For a quick move, it's not going to give it to us. We just made equal highs. We're looking at this 30-second fair value gap right here. It sits right there. All right, there's the close above. It's probably going to run without us. It made equal highs. It's a little high. I'm not going to take it. There's the target. So no opportunity there. But you could I could tell by this reaction that we're going somewhere. This candle just didn't close above it. So you can see the 30-second fair value gap right here. We closed below it. And then the next candle, we made equal highs, closed a little too close to the target. And we would have been stopped out anyway. So that was basically we missed no opportunity there. Nothing else here. We got low resistance liquidity. I'm staying out until something obvious and clear comes. We had some things that were obvious and clear, but we just didn't get an entry. This is a very bullish reaction, I'm not going to lie. We're probably going to run. That's my guess. Based on this reaction right here. And if you're worried about wanting to try to get in, the only time that I get really disappointed is if it's a trending day, and it's a little early to determine if it's a trend day. But there should be a reversal at some point. Now, the mistake I've made in the past is trying to find that reversal during trending days. Trending days are not fun. Trending days suck because you rarely get a reversal, and when you think you're getting a reversal, you get a continuation higher all the time. We got some relatively equal highs sitting at 18,923 back from August 1st. And we got, excuse me, I don't know why wow, that's just crazy. If you guys can, hit that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps. Just my goal ultimately, guys, here's my plan. My big plan. Good morning, Adzi. Yeah, I did get one. But it was right when I started streaming. Literally, if you go back to the very beginning of the stream, you'll see that I say here's a trade opportunity. I got in early and made 17 handles. So I broke my own rules, but it was a good chase. It was I would call that a chase. It was a good breaking of the rules. There are some scenarios where you can break the rules that just are obvious, that are neon signs that says this is where it's going, this is what it's going to do, and that was this candle right here at 921. But my plan overall for those that are watching here is to begin a Discord, but I need around. To make it worth my time, I need to have anywhere from 75 to 100 people on my live streams on YouTube. Because obviously not everybody that shows up on YouTube is going to be willing to get into some type of paid Discord, and very lightly paid, because I want to keep all of these bots out of Discord, because if you make free Discords, people just spam people all the time. And I don't want any of that crap. All right, look at this reaction right here. This is a great reaction. This is a very bullish reaction. We come down, we fill this daily, and then we're going to close green. We close red, but that's a bullish candle. It would have been more bullish if it was green. So we'll see what happens on this candle here. But to get there, I need to get to that point where I can do, where there's no delays in the stream, to get to the point where I can have a community of people chatting with other people. I need to start with a bigger base. So your guys' likes helps get me there, because I would like to talk to you guys more than just while I'm streaming. I would love to chat with you guys in a Discord when trade ideas come up in the middle of the afternoon when I'm not on stream, right? Because there's some great trades that happen throughout the day that, hey, check out this candle here. It looks like there's an opportunity. That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So Discord would be just more appropriate for that. And your guys' likes help get me there. So I appreciate all the likes. All right, so there's what did I say? Very bullish reaction. It would have been better if green, but it wasn't. But still, we have an explosion after this. We have a very aggressive candle following these types of candles. These are great candles. I do not take longs off of these unless two types of scenarios. Okay? Number one, I look at the bottom of this wick and it has to overline with the top of the previous leg. So this is a leg, 1, 2, low, high, retracement. New leg starting, we retrace down to where? The top of the previous leg. This is an order block, a bullish order block that we will find support on, and it will explode higher. So that's option number one. Option number two is, let me see if I can find an example, are these. We have a low, we have a target, we hit that low, we wick lower just to grab liquidity, and we start moving the other directions. I call these nail heads. I call these my own term. I call it a nail head, where it wicks lower, it looks like a nail with the head, and then it starts moving the other direction. Okay, those are the two scenarios. I like using these very wicky, long-legged candles with very little body. Those are the two scenarios. I really like those on. Outside of that, it gives me order flow. As you can see here, where are all the wicks on this price leg right here? All the wicks are on the top side, telling me it wants to reach higher, but it wants to go lower. Reach higher, but it wants to go lower. Reach higher, wants to go lower. Reaches lower, begins to go higher. Reach higher, wants to go lower. Reach lower, wants to go higher. That's how I use wicks generally. It helps in the reading of order flow to give me context on where price may want to go, because while I do have two strategies for my entry model, the more valuable thing, the most important thing is being able to read order flow. Where is price going to go, right? And then you can create models to get in trades and be able to profit from them. This could be a model right here when you have we're potentially trending, we have a low, we make a high, we go back to the order block that was created right here. Let me see here. If we go down, if we go up to the 3-minute, I think it will show us. So here's the 3-minute order block I'm referring to. Here's that order block, down close candle. We close above it, and we wick down to that candle right there. And then we start moving higher. Doesn't mean we're going to go, 500 points, but you can get 10, 20 handles out of it. You could make that a model. That is not my model, but you can make a model around something like that as long as you back test it to confirm that it's legitimate. Here's another one. We come into a fair value gap right here. The wick of this low comes to relatively the high of this leg before this drop. So now let's watch and see if it wants to move higher. If it starts moving higher, this is telling me we're in some type of trending bullish market at the moment. ICT says when we're in a trending and we're near all-time highs, which we've pulled back quite a bit, but your best bet to take longs is to take these dips into fair value gaps and take them long. So in this scenario, you may have gotten long here, put your stop loss below the bottom of the order block body, and then you're targeting this high. So that would be a potential trade. I'm not taking it. I'm not recommending you trading it, but I'm telling you how you can come up with your own model and your own strategy by watching price action and saying, man, I'm seeing this happen a lot. Can I make a model around this that has a high probability of success? And you could absolutely do that. Now, there's thousands of types and ways that you can take entries. I've picked two and decided to stick with two. You can pick the same two, or you can pick a different two and add two more, right? There's so many different ways that you can look at it. The downside to this type of model is you find out quickly if it doesn't work. All right, so we are having a nice displacement candle. This is what I've been wanting to see. We don't need, let me see here. For me to consider a bearish, I need to see, we can probably move this candle here, or this change in state of delivery to this candle right here. So even though we have this nice reaction here, if we don't close below this on a 5-minute basis, I don't care. I'll look at this as a manipulation to potentially go even higher, okay? So on the hourly, we have bullish candles here 3 minutes before 10 o'clock. And that would be an indication on where we close. Are we going to close below this daily order block on the hourly? If we are, after we gave this wick, that would be a good sign that we could see a retracement into this hourly fair value gap sitting down here, which would make for a great move. We just got to see if that wants to show up. But until then, I'm going to keep my eye on this next fair value gap. I don't like how high we are in premium, but I'm going to watch it. Not necessarily taking them out unless I see a very aggressive candle. That's the only way I would probably take that. It needs to be obvious. We got equal lows right here. Keep that in mind. So if we get a bullish reaction here, it may want to run these equal lows. So we have a high, low, higher high, potentially with a break lower. For those that are joining, I apologize for my inconsistent camera. I need to, maybe it's the power supply. I just need to figure out what's going on with it. Yeah, tomorrow will be another great day of trading. I'm not looking for giant moves today. I'm looking for 10 to 20 handles. That's really all that I'm looking. If I can get 10 to 20 handles out of the day, I want to walk away. My exercise is getting a good trade on 2 accounts and then walking away. So here we're about to close. If we close like this is very bullish. I would wait for a retracement into this level, find support here, and then go higher because we're already really high. So I want it to come down here and then go higher. This is a great bullish move, but my concern is these equal lows, and we're already high. So even though it is the model, it is the setup, we did leave these equal lows here. It did run, it did make it, but let's see if it actually starts running the other way again. This is where you have to be subjective in your trading, because some of the setups will show up, but they're obviously not necessarily the best. Okay. I don't like how high I closed here. 9. It still gave us 10 handles, barely gave us 10 handles. You'd have had to be quick on the sell. But now we have this 1 minute sitting right here. So we have this 1 minute fair value gap. But the thing about it is this is now a balanced price range. I'm curious to see what we do here. Because we've found support at, we're playing above these levels right here. I just don't know how high it wants to go, because really everything that I'm looking at has a ways away. It's pretty high. I would prefer to see us move the other direction, and I would take this for these equal lows right here. Hourly closed really strong. The 4-hour closed really strong. The next 4-hour target is this 4-hour fair value gap. Actually, let's just move this one. No, let's add one here. And it's such a large space. And I mean, we're looking at it's a ways away. And I like where this candle closed. It didn't close really high. It closed in these wicks. So let's see what happens here. Check number one, we ran liquidity. We have a single fair value gap. We got an obvious target. So this is considered an A+ setup. The only thing that we are potentially doing is going against a bullish narrative. So you have to be nimble and quick depending on, because it is obvious we are going potentially against a bullish narrative. So you have to understand that all those things play a factor. We made equal lows here again. $40 more points is the daily candle with a volume imbalance. I saw this volume imbalance on the 4-hour. I didn't look on the daily. The daily has a volume imbalance right there. Yep, we do. Let's mark that. Good call. I like that. Still pretty high up there. So 50 points away. May give us an opportunity. The closer we get, honestly, the more likely I would take something, because that would be the obvious next target. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep yawning. I keep yawning. So I don't think I'm drinking anything. I didn't eat breakfast. I'll switch to this screen here real quick. This will be where I'll make my executions. I'm looking at this being inverse, but we ran this liquidity, or we ran this liquidity right here. We wicked below it, and now is there a 30-second something in here? No, not really. I was seeing if this was there was a 30-second fair value gap that we could potentially go long to target these relatively equal highs, because the narrative is bullish. And when you look at this, I mean, this would be a fantastic trade. Let's say we get in there. I mean, that's you're looking at 15 handles. That'd be a good play. From about right here. $18 handles. The hardest thing about trading is being patient. And that's what we're exercising right now. Outside of that opening trade right at 9:20, I haven't taken anything. So it's been about 40, 50 minutes. It's almost been an hour of sitting here doing absolutely nothing, but 50 minutes since I took that trade and just reading price. Okay, so here is a nice reaction. Let's see if we get something here. I don't think there's anything on the 30 seconds. There's a small 30-second fair value gap that we could look at, but it's overlapping with this 1 minute. So we want to really stick with the 1 minute. But there could be a 30-second here. No, it's covering up. I was looking for the 30-second here to see if it wants to continue higher. Nothing there. So you're seeing my execution chart. This chart right here is my chart that I'm watching. I'm watching this chart for a close below. This chart right here is a micro account, and it delivers slightly different. So I don't make my decisions based on this chart right here. I'm watching my micro or my mini account chart, which is the main Nasdaq account. So we're watching the Nasdaq, and I'll execute here, which will be very similar to the Nasdaq. It's just micro contracts. I'll go back to the minis where I'm looking at the 5 minute and 15 minute. 15 minute is not doing anything but bullish candles here, rebalancing, not leaving a fair value gap, and then pushing higher. I would take a long. There isn't an entry for a long. I'm looking for an inversion gap to the upside that I can take on the move. I just don't want to take a breaker this high. So here's a low, high, lower, low. You come up through it. You would take a long right here, but we're too high to take a breaker. I want to take a breaker that's in discount. We're in premium right now. So the only type of trade higher I'll take is an inversion with a draw on liquidity that's obvious. Here we go. There's not a 30-second here that's obvious. There's a small 30-second here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to watch this level here on the 1 minute. Stop is going to have to be moved to break even as soon as we close below this wick right here. If we get it. It doesn't look like we're getting it here on the 1 minute. Yeah, there could be an opportunity shorting from there. There's just not necessarily a guarantee. The mistakes that I've made in the past, Adzi, is thinking that a specific volume imbalance or swing high or swing low would be that entry, and then I'll try to go short when I see my setup and it doesn't work, right? So you just got to be careful. So I'm only playing liquidity here at the moment. We're not easily going higher at the moment. We have an obvious fair value gap that it's hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times with an obvious target of equal lows. So that's the only reason why I'm looking at this. Yeah, all of the bodies are in the premium portion of the fair value gap. 100%. Sorry, my camera went out. Let's see if it turns back on. I apologize. There it goes. All right, I'm taking this short right now. Let's see if it's going to give me this. It could wick right back up, but I'm targeting this low right here. I got it prematurely. And did it close below? It did not close below. That's going to be frustrating. We're going to hold it here for a second. I'm going to see where this candle closes. Hovering above, canceling the order here. All right, it closed below officially. Targeting this swing low right here, but having it push lower in case it wants to push lower. A close above this fair value gap will be my, I will end that, and I have just a stop loss in case it just wants to explode higher. That tends to happen on when you're in a, if it trends, it will just move a lot. So we're just going to have that there to protect ourselves. I will close it if it closes above this in 6 seconds. And it did not close above it. So still have some life. It could just wick me out right there, and I'll have to accept the loss. But I don't want to take any larger loss. There's a stop out right there. Let's see if that saved me. Nope. It's probably going to work out in my favor. Those are not fun types of trades to mess around with because they tend to end up going in your favor. But we're not going to get back in. We'll watch this price and see what it does. Let me jump back to the minis over here. This is the screen that we're watching. So there's our official close above, and now let's see if it continues or not. So we would have been stopped out on that trade for this short. Let's see if it runs against us here. It did not run for these lows. Okay, it looks like it did save me. I'm always grateful for that. It's staying above the CC of the fair value gap right now. And because of PP today, it's not letting us get a good direction. Maybe. This just didn't work out. Sometimes it's a great setup. It really was. We ran the high. We immediately retraced it. Closed below it. Yet closed above it. So it's not 100% guarantee. I do like this model a lot, and it works most of the time. Sorry guys, I don't know why it keeps doing that. I think what I might do, let's go to 3. We're just gonna sit here. Sorry about not the camera having an issue. I don't know why it's doing that. So we should be right here. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, I mean, look at the... Here, it looked great. After this, all this price action looks horrible. From this point to this point, it looked great. I'm not complaining. We have some large candles. We closed below. We got an obvious target. But immediately following that, we just start doing this back and forth thing. If I saw this before, I guess you could consider this before, but these two candles there took this out of my mind that we may run lower. So it was just a loss. I'm going to log out of that. So even if we, now that we break, if we break below this again, obviously we'll not take it. I'm not interested in that. We are waiting for displacement headed the other direction. That's really the only thing I'm waiting for. Either we run higher to hit this volume imbalance, as Adzi pointed out, or we start running the other direction. It is sort of choppy right now, okay? It went from great price action, great order flow. I mean, this is all great order flow. It really is. It didn't violate any PD arrays. And when it did, it ran liquidity or made equal lows. So there's no reason to not think that it wouldn't happen here. So when it doesn't, now I'm logging out of my accounts and I'm saying, okay, we're going to wait until we see better price action. Go talk to Mom. Okay, so here's a display. Let's see if we get a displacement all the way through this. If we start seeing a large candle here, that we can work with that. All right, here's our displacement candles. Still looking for a 5-minute close below this change in state of delivery for an official change in direction. Right here. We got 2 minutes and 55 seconds. 2 minutes left. We're just being patient. We're waiting for this to close below the 5 minute to really show us we want to. It also inverts this 5 minute fair value gap sitting right there. This 5 minute fair value gap sits right here. I would love for a displacement right here. I want to see a fair value gap left, because I will wait. This is where I'll get in later. So displacement lower, consolidation, come back up into this fair value gap that I'm hoping it creates, and then we use that to go lower. Okay, so we didn't get that. We still have 55 seconds left, but now, because of this wick, I'm watching this right here on the 1 minute. We swept the equal lows, grabbed liquidity. We ran into this 5 minute order block again and bounced off of it. Are we going to have the energy to push higher? This is what I would like to push higher off of, if we are going to do that. If we are wanting to run towards that volume imbalance that is sitting up there. This would be the trade. The 30-second is a little bit higher. We want to see if this 30-second closes. I'm just going to put this line here because I think I would want the 30-second to also close just to be safe. Watching and waiting, guys. That's really what's happening. Okay. Let's see what this close is. All right, I'm in long. I'm in long for this high. I'm going to take one contract off right here once we hit this high. And then I'm really targeting this high here for another contract, and then we'll hold one runner. We have a hard stop. My hard stop is going to be right here. So hard stop set right there. I do not want it to go back down here. And if it's going to go back down here, I'll just make it a hard stop. Not liking that candle, folks. Not liking that candle at all. Choosing to be patient, though. Okay, we just closed above this, down closed this 1 minute order block. That's a great sign. That's a good sign there. Looking to target these highs, have my profit. I have a limit order set right above here. Camera's working. Still sitting here. I haven't moved. Talking behind the camera. So this leads to a conversation of managing risk. So I'm okay with the risk that I'm taking. The question is, are you okay with the risk that you're taking? Are you okay if it stops out and be able to walk away? If I have this, if this is lost, I'll be closing down my charts and I'll be ending the stream basically, because I have to manage my risk appropriately. So, and managing my risk appropriately means walking away and not trying to make up my losses. You have to be able and willing to do that. A lot of sitting, a lot of waiting here, folks. A lot of sitting, a lot of waiting. Got to be patient. Got to patient. Let the trade work itself out. Hit that high for me. Come on. All right, first TP is taken. we'll move my stop up to cover myself here. I think I'm gonna reduce my risk because of how little it's running right now. So I'm going to take, let's see if this pushes here. There it goes. Hold it. Hold it. Come on. Okay, there's the high, taking one off there. Now I'm holding for a bigger move. Let's see if we get it. So that trade did work itself out. It took some patience. That ended up being from 18,900 was the original entry to 1820. So that was a 20 handle move. So far, we're holding. We're going to hold up to this volume imbalance here, which is 1956. I'm going to have a sell limit order set for right there. Oops. Let's get out of that. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're going to hold this. Going to be patient. We're going to let it work itself out. We're still in this, going long. I have one contract remaining. My exit is at 956.25, just below this volume imbalance there. I will set my stop. My stop is going to be Probably at this high here. So stop is going to be set at 18,922. I think I'm going to take my profit there. I took my profit there. I'm not going to be tit for tat on that. I took my profit sitting right here. So that was 46 handles. I'm not going to let it really, if it doesn't want to go there and go all the way back down here and end up losing 20 handles. So I took my profit. I'm happy with it. It's a great trade. You really can't complain about that. We had to be patient. You had to be willing to be patient. And there's a couple times it felt like it wasn't actually going to work itself out, to be honest. You had to hold through this this consolidation right here. So let's see if I made a good decision by selling it here. See how much it retraces. I would have been stopped out right here at 922.75. Let's see if we get stopped out there. Or if it just wants, or if it pushes higher. And if it pushes higher, great. Good for, I'll take 46 handles. I'll take 46 handles. So end up going 2 out of 3. We took a 15 handle loss. 16 handle loss on a short that did not pan out. Set up there. But that's part of trading. 2 out of 3. First trade was 17 handles. Second trade was a 17 handle loss, and then ended up with a 46 handle win. So I'll take it. I'll take it. I think I'm probably gonna call it. I guess it's almost 11, so we got a little bit more time. Let's see this play out. Let's see this play out here. I'm gonna log out of my cash account as well. That was done in my cash account. That's why I couldn't pull it really up. Logging out there. And the only thing left is my eval account, which is right here, as you guys can see. So I wonder if that's gonna run or not. So this is my eval account. I'm playing off of this right there, guys. Got in a little high. Probably will get out of here, guys. I don't like it. I'm not going to waste eval capital. Wait for a better setup. But that's the only thing I am trading on now is my eval account. Thanks, Adzi. I'm glad you took the same trade. Yeah, getting stopped out, how you handle being stopped out is really important. Many times people want to get back in and try to take another trade and take a momentum trade or take an emotional trade or over trade because of that. So just be careful. I'm logged out of all my accounts, my performance accounts, and my cash account. And I'm only on eval. I don't know why it's doing that. That's bothering me. Hey, Deborah. Good morning. All right, Adzi. Have a blessed day. Get out of here. We'll be on tomorrow morning for CPI. CPI will be fun. It'll be a good trading day. How was your day, Deborah? How are you doing? I am great. If you just joined, we took 3 trades, went 2 for 3, had a win right when I turned on the stream. There was a play for some equal highs. It took for 17 handles. Then we took a short here. We took a short right here, and it didn't go and went against us, so had a 17 handle loss. And then we went long right here, had to hold through some consolidation and ended up selling for 46 handles. So that was nice. That was good. The weekend was great. Kids are now officially back in school, except for my oldest. He starts tomorrow. So we will be doing all of our stuff, new school activities. So that's kind of what's been going on. Don Lee, nice trade. No trade for me. See you tomorrow. Well, I'm glad you're here, Don. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow, okay? Same here as in kids going to school, or same here as in very productive day? Kids in school. I feel ya. I really want this to run right now. I would love for it to stab back into here and then give us an entry, but I don't think it's going to do that. We are now officially just on an eval account. My eval account is sitting at $1,500. I haven't done any trading with it recently this week at all. So we'll, good day, Alec. Alakai, sorry. We'll see if it gives us an opportunity. Honestly, I kind of want to be done. I'm happy with the trades that I took, and could do some other stuff today. So we'll see if anything happens in the next 15 minutes. If not, we'll be calling it quits, folks. I really wanted it to run into the Tuesday new day opening gap that's sitting super low. It could get you could get that move in the afternoon. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a good day. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, every day is a good day. Because every day the Lord has made, and but some days, it just has that cherry on top when you have some wins. So I think tomorrow would be a great day as well for trading. I don't think it's going to give us anything. Hey, Deborah, so you're with Apex, okay. Hopefully use the DTJ code, but do I have to buy a copy or a trade to have multiple accounts? No, you can have multiple accounts, but you can trade them individually. You can trade them individually if you want. So you don't have to. You can get, let's say, 3 eval accounts. Like I have multiple right now. I only have 1 eval account though right now. I have multiple performance accounts. But you can go between the performance accounts or the eval accounts and just trade that specific account. So you could say, oh man, I got a great win on this eval account. I don't want to overtrade that account. I'll go to another account and I'll trade that one. So you can show some discipline and not overtrade a specific account. Especially starting out, here's the move right there. Especially starting out, it's important that you don't overtrade after you get wins. And one way that I combated that at the beginning was having multiple accounts. I don't recommend going from one account to the next and then just trading, because you end up getting sloppy on accounts that you end up trading later in the day. So that's why I moved to the copier, because I wanted to take 1, 2, 3 trades and be done and not have to trade the next account and the next account. But if you want to have like a legitimate account, and then you wanted to have a practice account that you take different types of trades on, you could absolutely do that. All right, there's the volume imbalance. There's the volume imbalance that Adzi called it out. Props to Adzi. I didn't put that on my chart until he mentioned it, so props to him. That was a good call out. We hit this target. I don't know if we're going to go through it. We may go to this 4-hour fair value gap, but I would have to say I would expect some type of pullback. We really haven't gotten any type of pullback here. But that is the target. That was our last target that we were aiming for. So with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm really not interested in anything else unless it drops. And what I really would want to see is us run for today's new day opening gap, which is sitting at the low. So this is a market maker buy or sell model, and we are on the buy side waiting for the sell side to form. So I'm going to call it a day until we see some type of displacement, and then I'd look for an entry to go lower. That may be in the afternoon session, but as far as the morning session, I'm done. I probably won't do anything till after 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but I won't be on stream. So thanks for being here today, guys. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on at 8:20 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here for, I'm not probably getting on before CPI, or I'm not going to get on for CPI. You know, I probably take that back. I probably am going to do that. I might get on right when CPI takes off, right when CPI opens at 8:30. So I might get on early for CPI, and then we'll just hang out and look for some opportunities, because there'll be good opportunities even before the open. So that's going to be today, guys. Thanks for being here. We will chat at you tomorrow. God bless.